I've always looked at the SEC as being overhyped because they had a double standard. They were able to pay players when other conferences weren't. They didn't get sanctioned or penalized, major violations, when they were doing the exact same thing, if not much, much worse, in programs like USC with Reggie Bush. They did not get their Heismans taken away. In fact, the SEC is so corrupt and so pathetically biased that the Heisman voters for the SEC won't even put any other players from other conferences on their ballots. They literally leave them off the ballot just because they're so afraid that anybody with the SEC would get a Heisman. That's pure bitch behavior. If you can't admit that other players are ballers and deserving of the title of Heisman if they have performed to a level that earns them that, you don't know ball. Dan Lanning knows ball. The people that are super hyped on Dan Lanning know ball. I went into depth a little bit yesterday about Oregon's history with coaches, what we've been through, the expectations that we've had, and how those didn't get met, and or we suffered through being a stepping stone for other coaches like Willie Taggart, Mario Cristobal. Go back and look at my first love letter to Dan if you'd like, and you'll see exactly why I have issues with those coaches and why they left the program, and then what their intentions were for leaving the program. I couldn't be more optimistic and just so grateful for having Dan Lanning be our head coach. The guy is a football guru. He has the personality to connect with people. He has the mental fortitude to handle situations, to adapt, to face adversity, and progress. On top of, the guy is just a stud. When you're, listening to him doing interviews post-game, during the week, on the field after a win, you're just like, dude, this guy's energy is just unmatched. Dan Lanning and Dan Campbell from the NFL, the Detroit Lions, are the two best coaches in football. College, NFL. There might be some insanely, awesome high school coach out there that we don't know about yet, but he's not doing what Lanning and Campbell are. And I knew the first time I ever watched that Hard Knocks season on the Lions that Dan Campbell was just wired different.